Welcome, welcome.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Bodybuilding Prospect with Alex and myself. So, Al, tell people what's going on. What's new?
We're breezing. It's a breeze today. We haven't got no fancy guests. We haven't got no one spectacular apart from our famous selves. Just to go through, we've got some cool stuff to go through today. A little bit of controversy, a little bit of a disagreement on how people are acting in the fitness industry, talking about, why doesn't everyone just love each other, support other coaches? Man, I'm going to straight up say, and George agree, you can fuck off. As in, I love competition. This is what we do. Me and George are a clear example of that. We love it. We've been doing it for the last 2 years, since we've been training together. And it's only made us better, who we are.
Yeah, it's some people say it's toxic, but the constant trying to one-up each other, it's been healthy. I don't care. People say it's toxic and all that just to be like constantly in competition and chasing other people, but it's worked massively in our favor.
Well, it is.
We're going on two like kind of separate paths in that our bodybuilding like career of mindset, and we're still just like that. Fuck it, I've got to be better than him. No, I've got to be better than him. It's just constantly just keeps going.
You should have heard literally, if only we were recording about 5 minutes ago, we were saying, I literally put it to him. I was like, right, who's bigger? I was like, me or you? Who's bigger? It was like and he was like, right, let me break it down. He was like, if we're talking about weight, measurements, stats, he was like, it goes by me. He was like, but if we go by the look and the bubbliness, we'd have to go you. And then I'm like, why do you have to ruin the fun? You know what I mean? Why can't you just say that I'm better than you? Like, why can't you just touch my ego? And he's like, no, because I'm better than you. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I think everyone's got so caught up on there was a big fascination about stay in your own lane, only worry about yourself. But like, what is bodybuilding? You're stepping on stage with other people. You ain't, as much as you want to keep progressing and beat yourself. And if you're making progress from every single one of your days outings, every time you step on stage, you're beating yourself, then you should be proud. But at the end of the day, you're going there for one reason and one reason alone, to beat every other man or woman on that stage. Mm-hmm. So it is competitive. You've got to look at the competition. You've got to try and be better than them.
So every time I walk in the gym now, I know I'm better than last year because I'm a hell of a lot bigger than I was last year. And that, unfortunately, for some people does mean you have been overtaken. Like that's fact. You don't go rubbing it in people's face saying I'm bigger than you. The one thing that I know when I know I'm doing well is you get props from guys that you respect. You'll get the DM off someone that you think, geez, I didn't know like you even followed me, let alone what is me. You get a little react on a story or someone just giving you a little bit of gas, geeing you up a little bit, letting you know you're doing all right. Like and that's just enough to know that you're doing all right. You haven't got to be an arsehole with it and rub it in people's faces. But I'm just not about the whole we got to like get on with everyone, because unfortunately, like some of you out there are helmets. Some people think that I'm a helmet, and it's like that's the reality of it, mate, isn't it? It's just unfortunate. I'm sorry, mate, but there are a few of you who I think, you know what, you really are an acting penis. You think you got this persona on social media that you're all nice guy, but you're a penis, mate. That's kind of it.
Fake. It's fake. That's what it is. They got a social media personality. That's not the real them. And when you meet them in person, they're like fucking bellends.
It's like we loved it. Like recently, we found it quite fun. Not as in we're not doing it on purpose, but causing a bit of a stir and with like opinions and things like that. Like when I put story out saying I'm not going to act as if I'm someone else on a story. No, I'm not taking piss at any individual here, but if you're guilty of it and the boot fits, then wear it. Hi guys, back again. You know what I mean? Just had an excellent workout. Just fuck off, honestly. And if anyone does that, please just record it and send it to me, and then I'll punch myself in the face, because I really will. And it just ain't. It's like, why can't you just be you? Fair play if that's how you are, then fair play, because you might actually be that person. But I don't know. I'm just steering the way I'm doing things a little bit differently. And
there was again, we're not going to mention any names here, but one rings the bell who started working at LRF for a little while. And on social media, he's got this cool, sick attitude, like energy. And when you meet in real life, it's like 2 words, maybe a max. And it's like,
so we're not going to mention no names with this guy or anything, but I'm good friends with a photographer and videographer. Guy's getting into it. He did some work with him and didn't even talk to him like behind the camera, like when he's like away from the recording. Didn't even talk, not 2 words, because he was trying to ask him like, how do you want to set things up? How do you want to do it? What do you want to get across? Like give me some feedback. Obviously, help with the camera. And he just didn't really have anything to say. Turn the camera on, and it's just bullshit. Like, to anyone behind the camera, you think the guy's cool as hell, and I thought he was. And just when I see him in person, it's like, bro, I'm not about it. You know, it's just why are you one person here and one person there? I get it for this is business, people are trying to make money and get client, everyone wants to be on the, you know, the happy club and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. It's just, is it going to make me lose money not being that fake guy? Then hey, if that's the way it is, the way it is. But at least I know I'll get real people when it comes to it.
Well, we can only use ourselves as an example. Like, you'll know from being around me, I'm pretty chilled. Like, I'm probably I'm that laid back. I'm basically horizontal most of the time, and I don't think my social media comes across any different, to be honest.
Like we've never had like a full on argument between ourselves, because I probably wouldn't be worth arguing with George, because he'd probably just sit there and be like, "Do you know what, mate, just fuck off, like just go away."
Yeah,
and that'd be it. There'd be no reason to f and blind, because you're like, it's just useless. You know, we'll be cool in a bit, simple as. And
too much conversation to argue. We just talk. We'd end up fucking going off on a tangent about saying girls and completely.
Yeah, and then we start laughing. That'd probably be what it goes like.
Actually, I don't know. Wait until prep actually starts with me.
Yeah,
don't like prep, George.
Yeah, prep George. Honestly, I will reveal secret now. I did not like last prep George. He was a different. He didn't even like me. He didn't like anyone. He didn't even like himself. But overall, was it an eye opener? Fucking, I too right bet it was. But then again, no one knows. George had shit going on. We don't need to go into that stuff. But when you know, you know. But if you don't know, don't worry about it.
Wrong time to be on fuck all calories and a load.
Yeah, wrong time to be put on the stress of a prep and, you know, trying to prove yourself and all that sort of stuff. And it can get real deep with this stuff. And was it a bad mix? A concoction that should have caused a nuclear explosion, should have done. And you know, yeah, I'm blooming bet. What else can we go into? What did you want to go into? You missed me earlier.
Well, it was the fact that competition doesn't always have to be negative, right? The main point what I dive into is just how successful me and you were bouncing off of each other in that off season. Now, granted, it worked very differently for both of us. You grew incredibly in that little off season window. It didn't really work for me. That's that training method. But what I got from it was a mentality and an approach that I can now put into my training. Them fucking giant sets of squats, leg extensions, lunges, whatever else, just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Just going to the point of where we was neurologically fucked, to the point of like nearly throwing up. That I got a mindset skill out of that.
Okay.
But it was through me and you just constantly going toe and toe, trying to one up each other. Yeah, you put another plate on the bar, I'm going. Even if I can't do it, I'm doing it. It doesn't matter. It's got to be done.
It's where I come up with a saying for training partners, shot for shot. And it's like, if I'm doing 3 plates, he's doing 3 plates. Like, I remember those incline Smith machine days, those triple drop sets. Like, it was 3 plates, 2 plates, 1 plate. And it was rinse and repeat, 3-4 working sets. And we do it every week. And what was cool about this plan, it was called the oxygen plan, and for a reason, because you did need a damn whole lot of oxygen to get through it. And when you were conditioned to it, like we were, and you have someone try and jump in, we had a friend try and jump in on a leg session with us. I'm not saying that we're hardcore by any means, but we do train hard. And he just fucking laid on the floor halfway through a giant set. He was like, I can't do it. I was like, you know, like, you do it, there's 3 of you, you're in a row, and obviously if he's in my way, I can't do my exercise because he's next. And he's like, come on, he's like, I need you to go because I'm gassed, but I need to move right now. I need to go. And yeah, it was a fun training program. I grew, like George said, a lot from it. But then again, my diet wasn't too consistent. It was very much sloppy off season.
Imagine if you had to do consistency in the diet though as well.
This is a great point to go on to with how to progress. People not loving being consistent and being 100% of things like that is the question will always be there. Yeah, you progressed. Like I grew, what I put on stage with, I reckon probably at least 6-7 kilo of muscle. That's a guess, all right, for the year. We can't solidly say exactly what it was. We don't know exactly, but damn well, roughly, stage to stage, about 6 kilo of muscle. How much would I have put on if I maximized everything from training, nutrition, and PEDs throughout that year? Would it have been more? My guess, from my experience now, working the last year with Joe, I would have. Easily.
100%.
No, there is no way. You can't argue that. Fair play, but you don't know because of evidence, this, that, and the other, because you haven't done it. But mate, I've never grown this much in this time. And that's because of being more consistent.
Right, well, I did it that way. I did it just go in and fry yourself. Just if it feels good and you feel fucked, then it must be growing muscle. And obviously that is complete utter bollocks. Scientifically, it's just wrong. And until I took this approach of track everything, literally everything, every single set. I even took it to the point where I track every single warm-up set, because my warm-ups aren't always consistent. On the day, I might need more on my legs, because I'm shot to shit most of the time anyway. I might need more to warm up on the knees. So I have to track everything so that I know that each week my total volume is increasing in a growth phase. That worked. It's no like, I know it works for some people, but it was that argument I put on that post. The old school bodybuilders that just used to throw plates about and never track anything because it just whatever felt good. Yeah, look how big they got. Yeah, but how big could they have been? How much better could they be if they tracked everything?
Yeah. And
I will put anything on the fact that they could have been, if they was placing top 5 at shows, they'd be winning shows.
Yeah,
because exactly. If they was half-assed.
Yeah, many have said it. What we found out as well, obviously piecing it together even now, like years later, was how much volume does an individual need to grow? And as we found out with George in the last year, George has to work extremely hard with a lot of volume, battering himself to grow a lot of muscle. Is he finding out more and more as he goes on? Yes, he is. But I can only go related to how I grow, and I've noticed it. I can do 3, 4, pushing 5 working sets on certain movements for me to grow effectively with obviously nutrition, peds, consistency, things like that. I've known George to go up to 8 working sets, for example, on a hack squat. And that's not warm-up sets, people. That's 8 working sets at top weight. So you're talking 6, 7. I think he went to 8 plates at some point. Even any more? What did you get to?
7 3/4. It wasn't 8.
No, that's 7 3/4 plate side for 8 working. So maybe he did like maybe a 7 before. I don't know. I'll guarantee. I've seen videos, and it ain't pretty and it ain't easy by any means. Could I do it? Straight up, I can say now I could not go and do that right now. No way. I'm not built for that. I can't. And that's
that's the defining thing. You don't need to, so you haven't had to push it that far. I couldn't do that when I started. But you have to condition yourself to do what's necessary, and sometimes it's fucking grueling. Joe mentioned me on the Carb Cast. I don't know if you listen to the Carb Cast podcast.
No, not too much.
But he literally said to Christian, "Do you know who the king of lower specialization is?"
Yeah,
he said me, because of what the hell he put me through, and I was just like, "Nah, let's do more. Let's keep going. Let's keep going." But I put that down to the oxygen days.
Yeah,
it didn't matter how much it fucked me. I had to keep up with you.
Yeah,
that was it. I was chasing, and I was wanting to better you, and that mindset carried into this training. Now I have that ability to just take it. Let's go. I still imagine I've got an hour in front of me with the fucking another plate more than me, so I'm chasing it.
Yeah, and now it is easily got to the point where I have been overtaken on movements. And do I like that? No. Like, so was it? Like yesterday, I said to George, we got a load of prime kit ordered to the gym. And I was like, I got 5 plates on the row. And he was like, I usually stack that. I was like, fuck off. I was like, come on. I was like, I had my moment of, I felt strong because, mate, that machine was heavy. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I'll stack it. I was like, fuck off. And that's not like brown nose, because that will sit with me next time I sit on my machine. Exactly. And I will have to be heavier every time, which I will, like George, he tried to like almost pat me down. It was like, yeah, bro, it was your first time using it. It's cool. You're going to get stronger. And I was like, yeah, I know that, but I still want to beat you. So
yeah, but I know that. That's why I say it.
Yeah.
Then I know that every session afterwards, I was going to be going, no, fuck that cunt. He stacked it and put this on it. I've got to beat that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, for example, like Luke he puts 2 black bands on that night tram leg press. He stacks the machine and puts 2 black bands on it. And I'm thinking, he doesn't even do it with knee sleeves. He doesn't even do it with wraps.
He's another one that's built differently, though.
He's built differently.
that man has got different gravy running through them veins. Even for me.
Different fucking kettle of fish, that. And I see him do, I think it was full stack for the full, I think it's 11 plates aside with the black band. I think even when he was 2 weeks out. And Luke gets in the like, admirable condition that I wish I can get to at some point in my time. And that, again, does take a different level. Like you see guys, even like Danny Mangood, for example, see him down at LF2. He can go to a place that I haven't been in working sets, And that's not saying that I train like a bitch or anything like that. I'm even saying that he trains like super hard, but that is admirable. You can't deny a mindset like for example, you're relating to your 7 3/4 plates in the hack squat. Everyone's got their own thing. And it's like, that's just work. Because that's what that person needs in order to progress.
Yeah. Mate, speaking of Danny, he's little blow up he's having at the moment is good.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to him a bit often recently, especially going back with his coach that prepped him, and it is exciting to see. It really is. There's nothing better than seeing someone you think this is definitely the right person for you to go with. I'm excited for you, and there's no better feeling than that sometimes.
Yeah, we don't need to get into the old coach situation. I mean, Camp Matt Jansen, like.
Oh, don't we ain't even got to go into that.
Unless you're a top pro, you ain't coached by Matt Jansen.
Yeah, I'd mentioned that. That just goes into maybe if things go on to but if you're going to go over coach and you know someone's a great coach, and like, is there? Should you try and join a top coach straight away? And I'm talking, depending on the level where you're at, like where do you think you should go? You know what I mean?
A prime example is you see guys. I mean, Ryan Rhino's an exception to this because he turned pro on his own. He coached himself to turn pro, and then he got a good coach. But you usually see someone will get their pro card, and then they'll leave the coach that turned them pro, and they'll go, yeah, I'm now, because I'm a pro, I've got to go with someone else. Like, this coach has just learned your physique, he's learned your body, he's put in absolute months and months, years sometimes of effort into learning your physique and getting it to a point where he knows you inside and out. He can tweak one little thing and let the ball roll, and your body will do what it needs to do because he's seen it, he's learnt it. And then you've earned the pro card with him because he knows your physique and you work together as a team. And then all of a sudden you're just going to win the pro card and go, yeah, I'm good now. I need to go to a different coach. Like, you're going to step up the ladder to the better coach after winning the pro card and go, well, it's back to square one again. This new coach has now got to learn me again. He's got to learn my physique. He's got to learn how to diet me, how to bulk me, how I respond, what peds work well with me. When you should have stayed with the coach that turned you pro. He's turned you pro. He learned your physique enough to make that happen. Surely he can continue that on. At least give him a chance.
We saw that. Did you mention about not really mentioning names, but did you mention any individual or anything like that?
No, it's something that we see. It's popular, man. You see it a lot happen. A lot of people turn pro. They decide to get a new coach.
I've seen a coach turn. I think three people. I definitely see them turn pro with this coach. And then before they even did a pro debut, they left him and went to another coach. I was thinking, like you just said, you built that together.
Yeah.
And why not give him a chance to see in the pro league?
How much further it can go. They know you inside and out at that point.
Yeah, they know what your work life, your personal issues, how you have to juggle this, that, and the other. When you're falling out with your missus, it all comes into it. There's so many things come into it with it. It's like
you always come at things from a different perspective.
It always has baffled me. And then again, I've seen an individual like this, did that, went with the coach, didn't go too well, didn't like it, and all of a sudden he stopped bodybuilding. I was like, what? Like, you were going to be like maybe the next best thing, and you've stopped. I was like, okay, fair enough. And that's one less person for someone else to worry about when it comes to it in the future, and disappointing, yeah. But everyone's got their reasons,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it comes from an ego thing, doesn't it? Like once they get the card, they're now better and they need to be with a top name in the industry. Like, oh, I've got my pro card now. I can, this guy only works with pros. Oh, well, I'm a pro now. I can work with him. Right. Well, great, but
maybe these things were set up beforehand. That was their plan.
If that's what you want to do and it works out, then sweet. But 99% of the time, you see that it doesn't, and they end up not doing what they wanted to achieve, and either come back to their old coach, or their old coach go, "Well, no, you left me for dust the minute you after all that work and all that time." So it's hard to keep. You've got to keep emotions out of coaching because clients will come and go all the time, man. We've had to learn that you can't emotionally attach yourself to individuals.
I've been guilty of that before, like as you've seen. It's like you have clients that lead to go to other people, and then you almost have a thought that you doubt your own ability. Like, I always ask myself, I was like, what did I do wrong? And it's like, hang on, mate, you haven't got to think you did anything wrong. It's like maybe you're at a different level. It's maybe you need to learn some more. Maybe someone just wanted to go with someone else because they thought the grass was greener. It happens, You've got a coach out there. George has picked up clients from myself. George has picked up clients from this guy. Oh, my ring light has just died. Let me bring it back. Hell no. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's exactly that. Clients come and go. And you can't, if you build that emotional attachment to them, you're going to eventually be not hurt by it, but you're going to start questioning and doubting yourself. If you settle with the fact that this is just how, you know, human beings are, and that coaching within our industry, you're not going to always sit with people for a long time, and it's, you know, within their right to want to experience different things. When someone starts out being coached, right, my biggest advice is stick with someone for a long time and have them understand, like, right, okay, this has worked, this has done well, but I would like to, you know, expand my knowledge, expand my skill set, and try a different approach. It might not work, but if you voice that to your current coach, then realistically, and I've had it happen to me, they should sit there and go, yeah, do you know what, that's quite clever. Yeah, go and learn, go and experience, go and find, you know, in your early days, it's not a problem. But when you actually spend a little bit of time, you know, like I said, building up that relationship and getting something that works, I don't think, you know, you need to fix what isn't broken. And you might hit it off with your first coach completely, and it might be that was it. It rolled, it went, it was sick, it happens. Then sweet. But you know, from when when we left Jay South, for example, like when we left him, the first thing he said to me when I said, oh, I'm thinking about going and trying someone else on a mentoring scheme and try and better my education, he literally replied to me and went, "No, of course, mate. Go and learn. Go and try. Go and experience." Because we're in our younger, earlier part of our, you know, bodybuilding career. I don't want to say journey. We can say career. We'll say career. Sounds better. Because we're in that early stage, we can do, you know, be with a coach for a year, try his methods, try his experience, see what knowledge he's got. If it doesn't work quite how you like it, try something else. If it doesn't work, then you can always come back to them. Mm-hmm. They might not have spaces, so that's what you're risking.
That's it. Like, I worked with Coach Jace Long for 3 years, and it took me, and George, it took me about a year, even when George, before he left, we thought for about at least a year before actually making a move to go to someone else, because you got to make sure it's the right decision, and you haven't got the most amount of time. You know, this time span to be good at this, we both know it's short. And even if you're not getting into this, well, you can get into it late and have like a great career, you know, Senate and things like that, but you kind of do need to take advantage of days, you know, rather than, you know, I can have this off. Things like, nah, it's got to be a step forward. Even when I was sick, you know, I had low food for a few days, just couldn't eat. I'm thinking, I know I've lost days. I have lost days straight up, because you haven't consumed enough, you haven't worked enough, therefore you're not going to recover, and then you're not going to grow, you're not going to become better. You have lost days. So how many times is that going to happen in a year? You know?
Well, I mean, I had COVID for the whole time and I didn't miss a meal.
Yeah, that's again the other admirable thing. I've seen George do it. Does it annoy me that I struggle? Yeah.
Oh, mate, there was time I was blending meals. I was struggling. It wasn't easy. Zoe used to call me an idiot. She say you're literally a psycho. But like exactly what you said there, you can't afford to miss days in this. That was what I said to myself. I sat there and went, I've worked all this time to grow my legs to where they are. If I get COVID and I sit on my ass and don't eat, what's the first thing that's going to waste away? I can't afford to. So I was there chugging blended meals like a back in the day, the old fucking chicken and rice shakes, like dirty, but it had to go in, man. The macros and micros needed to go in. Blending vegetable soup up and drinking it, like whatever had to be done got done.
The biggest struggle that I can relate to that is I ran out of oats today, so I had to have a cream of rice blended shake.
Why don't you just make it into cream of rice like a bowl?
I wasn't hungry. So in some way. So yeah, if anyone's ever tried to drink cream of rice, it is like sand. Just so you know. The grain is that grain.
I used to do that at the end of my push with Joe when I was my heaviest. Appetite was gone. I used to get all the berries and all the cream of rice and just blend it into this disgusting sand drink. The
best thing is that I'm quite naturally gifted at downing drinks, so I can do it. so why not use that? Like, you know, with alcohol, no, can't do it. But you give me like a pint of orange juice or a shake of protein or something like that, I can nick a lot of it.
It just has to be in that pint glass, doesn't it?
Pint glass rules, yeah.
If it's in a pint glass, there's something switches in the brain. Yeah, you can drink anything. Speaking of you've been nicking pints, what's your plan over Christmas?
Christmas plan. Obviously, I don't drink too much, if ever. Once every, I want to put like a month, maybe less than that. I'm always the first to say, "Oh yeah, I'll drive." you know, and I have to be rather pushed in order to drink because I love staying in my own bed. And how do I get to my own bed if I'm drinking? I can't. Well, I can, but I'd rather not pay 40, 50 quid for a taxi, depending where I am. You know, I live far away from a lot of places. And I like the comfort of that. I don't like staying in other people's beds, so I'll always choose to not drink. Plan is simple. Spending the time here with Els in the morning. We're going to do some our Christmas gifts. Obviously, whatever comes naturally on Christmas Day, as you know. And then we're going to, let's do that. We're going to go to her parents, her mum's, breakfast, snacks, maybe even the first dinner there. And then we're going to go over to my parents after that. And this also is including a lockdown. If lockdown is there, I couldn't give a fuck. I'm still doing it, of course. Same as I hope everyone else out there should.
Yeah.
Don't need to go into anything like that, but yeah, I'm doing it. And it's going to be sick because we're going to have food. Am I going to be on plan for the day? No. Will I even breach my calories for the day? Probably not. Because when I eat off my plan, the appetite just goes. When you have the sweet things, if I even have a sugary drink, my appetite will go. That's why I don't drink sugary drinks ever. I'll treat myself to a Monster like one every 6 months for a sugary one, genuinely.
So no, like drinks on Christmas Eve or anything, or
well, I'm seeing you Christmas Eve, so we'll see.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't drink full stop, so
no, I know.
Me sat there egging you on.
I'll probably have the one, obviously, where I'll be driving. So, you know, people can be all wild, you know what I mean? But it's like, genuinely, like, I'm not a sesh head. Honestly, I went to a rave once. Did I enjoy it? Oh, my feet hurt. You know what I mean? That's all I got from it.
I feel like I've just been shot.
Then again, I wasn't pinging off my face like everyone else there.
See, that's the common denominator.
That's
what you missed out on now. See
yeah,
that?
I didn't drink the magic water that everyone else was drinking. Do you know what I mean?
That magic pixie dust that people blow up your nose.
Yeah, I wasn't chilling in a KO for the whole night. So
yeah, but it's a comfy place though.
Yeah, you can keep it. You can keep it.
I missed the
yeah. Overall, no sessions or anything like that. Obviously, New Year's. I mean, still seeing what's available for us to do. But yeah, what's yours? What's your sort of?
I mean, for you, it's again, I guess we can kind of formalize this for the listeners. If you're in a growth phase, attacking Christmas is pretty easy. It's just take the load off and enjoy it. Like, even though it doesn't, like, from lifestyle people, for a lifestyle perspective, it doesn't matter what phase you're in. Let Christmas be what you want it to be. Right? Do not put any guilt on yourself. Do not put any pressure on yourself to do this or that. If you're one of them that likes to track food, do it. If you want to take the load off and just chill with the family and eat what the fuck you want to drink, do it. Right? There's no pressure on you guys. But from an athlete's perspective, if you're in the growth phase, chances are if your food's that high, you're probably not going to hit your calorie intake anyway. So just, again, don't stress on it too much. In our situation, if he eats a couple of things that aren't necessarily in his typical diet, his digestion is probably going to be a bit halted up and slowed down. For me and how I'm attacking it, because I'm deep in the fat loss here. I'm in my second block. Christmas Eve, I still eat close to just over 3,000 calories a day. So I'm going to macro track Christmas Eve and just have 3 bigger meals instead of 5, so I can enjoy some foods. Christmas Day, I'm off plan all day. But it'll be, I won't track it or plan it. I'll just, as I eat, I'll bump it in there. And if I go over, I go over. I'm not too particularly fussed. Boxing Day, out with Zoe's family. Boxing Day. So it'll be, again, 3,000 calories to eat. So I'll track around it to make whatever we do work. But obviously, my family's quite big.
Yeah.
Go see the Traveller Smells Life. It's gonna be a fun one. But no, everyone's a foodie in my house, man. It's just foodies, so it's gonna be harder for Zoe, I think, on prep. We're gonna plan around it, but we've structured a diet break into Christmas week quite nicely, and the way the calories sit across the week means that she gets she can have 3,000 calories on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day to suit the diet break. So she's gonna have no issue eating, man. She's only 60 kilos. 3,000 calories to her is a lot of food. So people, even when I was in my deficit, we found out my maintenance was sitting around 2,600. I want to say 2,550 is roughly my maintenance of where I last was. As someone who's not really a big eater, that's not actually that low of food.
If you're putting it in real perspective, when you've dieted hard, obviously you'll respect that, as it's not actually that low of food. So if you have like George in a deficit at fucking 3,000 calories, he can probably eat handsomely. He could easily miss meal 1 and 2 and go straight out and have like a massive lunch and a massive dinner, or clean food, because Christmas food majoritively is clean. You know, it's just veg, taters, the only and meats, and anything's gonna be off is like sausage, stuffing, Yorkshire puddings. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I don't know. Even like for me, the Christmas day is the only day it's gonna be off. When I wake up, I'm having my normal meal 1. Normally, I probably won't have it on Christmas Day. Let's be honest, I might have something else. But other days, like for example, Boxing Day and Christmas Eve, I'm just gonna wake up as a day is normal, because I'm gonna wake up in my house. Yeah. And I'm going to eat my food, because it's the first thing I'll do. Wake up, pin insulin, go and eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. Look, the Lannis is going to help then. The food will go in easier. It's going to the right place.
That's kind of it.
Another thing, obviously from like an eating disorder kind of perspective now, like obviously I have to clarify this, because
who are we thinking of here?
Just in general, right? For like lifestyle clients, another reason why I any of my guys always say, like, just do whatever you want. I'd rather them not track through Christmas, because I don't want to see that negative relationship with food happen. With athletes, again, I always specify, because there's 2 demographics that we are going to listen. Tracking is a part of their life. They're used to it, and they have a good, healthy relationship with, well, most, not all, have a better relationship with tracking food. And they understand that it's just substance, right? It's not this devilish thing that's going to haunt them for the rest of their life. So they have the ability to manipulate the week's food, you know, reduce calories here, and here, so that they can eat more here and here, do more cardio on these days. Now, that's not something I recommend the lifestyle guys to do, because they don't need that constant to and fro battling of balancing their life out on a scale, on a food scale. But something I'm going to be doing Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, I've got a weight vest downstairs that can carry 20 kilos. You bet your life I'm putting that on and doing 5 to 10K steps fasted in the morning, so that my expenditure is through the roof. So that if I do eat more on Christmas Day, good chance it's going to balance out. There is ways that you can manage this. I don't recommend it, like I said, for lifestyle people. You don't need to think. You need to just do what you want. But athletes, you can manipulate. It's just a numbers game. It's so long as you come back to flatline of your goal, it doesn't matter how you did it. It doesn't matter if you ate less food and moved less because you wanted to sit on your ass to fan your day. It doesn't matter if you moved 4 times as much and ate more food. As long as you flatline on wherever you need to be,
you're
not going to do any damage.
It's like, are you going to lose your fun of the day by not eating something crap? You know, that's kind of what it comes down to. Is in, like, if you're in a growing phase, you're essentially fine. You know, it's not. You're not really gonna, like, I can have something off and I won't gain weight. Just won't. It doesn't happen. I don't, like, on an off-plan meal, I'll drop a meal or maybe even 2, and I'll have the off-plan. That's what I do, because I'll go in. I don't even binge anymore after that. You know, like George said, when I get to that point in off season, when you're eating, you're just eating. Like, you force yourself to eat. I don't force it at the minute. I'm not at that forcing stage, but I have to tell myself to eat. Like, meal 1, it is going in. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not. It tastes okay because I'm eating it every day, but it's just being eaten. But it's just, if you are in a deficit, you may just have to say no to a few things. You know, that's if you want to. Go on.
Again, you have to clarify, like, lifestyle people do what you want.
Yeah, all my lifestyle clients, they'll get a message every year, and I'll say to them, enjoy your Christmas, because I damn sure will myself. And that means, and I'll explain to them, I'm going to be off plan. For example, I've been there with clients. For example, we had a big party recently of a friend of ours, all mutual friends. And I said to him, I was like, I'm drinking tonight, just so you know. I haven't drunk in months and I'm enjoying myself. I welcome you to join me if you want to, you know, because they get worried being around me thinking, oh, what's he going to think? He's going to have a go at me. It doesn't work like that. There is balance to be had for my lifestyle guys, right? But if you're sitting there in a comp prep and you're standing next to me drinking a JD and Coke, you know I'm going to give you a slap. that's kind of how it is.
Alcohol is it's a good thing to dive into.
We shouldn't talk about it, but as in, I know the risk of drinking alcohol, consuming alcohol while on performance enhancing drugs. You know, George is going to roll off some hell of a lot of stuff that may go over people's heads, or you might dumb it
No,
down.
not even. I just really basic for the lifestyle people. You
Mm.
want to limit the damage done. Stick to white spirits, diet mixers, right? Don't drink beer and wine, because then you're going to wake up after Boxing Day and go, I'm really bloated because of all the because of the beer. That's what it does. Bloats your digestion out. It's awful for your digestion, and there's loads of calories in it. So the calories that you could have eaten in food and, you know, been satisfied and actually had some satiety and fullness and enjoyed it, you've just drunk it in liquid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit of a waste. So if you're going to try and minimize that damage done, white spirits, diet mixers, really easy. Vodka and diet Coke, you know, gin and lemonade, diet lemonade, stuff like that. Athletes, if you're off season, do what you want, it doesn't matter. But fat loss phases, you can't be drinking alcohol in a fat loss phase. You're going to slow the body's processes down. It's going to take you, 2-3 days to wash off that extra oxidative stress, that extra fatigue that it puts on the body. And quite frankly, if you're using performance enhancing drugs, one drink here and there is not going to kill you. But if you go on the piss, you're going to be pushing up detrimental effects on the heart, liver, brain, kidney. It's just not worth it.
It all comes back to what I said earlier on losing days. If I'm on a prep, man, I do not need to lose days. I've got, if you've set a show date, that's a timeline.
Yeah.
You could have been, you're gone.
If you've picked a prep for them early shows, you should already have settled with the fact that there's a good chance your Christmas is not going to be normal. And if you can't deal with that, then why did you pick the early shows of the year? You should realize that, oh, I'm prepping for March. I'm going to have to prep through Christmas, and there's a good chance that I can't have Christmas Eve off. I can't have Boxing Day off. And if I have Christmas Day off, I've got to be meticulous on how we go about it to limit damage. I personally would say no. If Zoe's diet break did not fall on the Christmas window, we would be sitting down and I'd be saying to her, like, I don't care, you got a track. You picked this show for a reason. You knew that you was going to prep through Christmas. You should have settled with that and been at peace with that. If not, pick a later show. There's plenty throughout the year. You made that choice.
Yeah. That's where I admire George's position on coaching his partner to do it. I've tried to coach mine before. Wasn't healthy for us. I'm too much of a nice guy and a bit of a pushover, I'd say, on certain things, because I can't help, but I'm not going to see her unhappy. I'm not saying that you do see her unhappy, but George can easily put boyfriend aside and bring what's best in as the coach for the athlete. Because that's what it is. It is a coach and an athlete. It's not George and his girlfriend Zoe. It's the coach and the athlete.
Yeah, mate. When times get a little bit sticky, and they do from time to time, they get sticky, I won't talk to her about her check-in. I'll get on my phone, I'll go through it, and I'll either send her a loom or I'll voice note her. The same as I would reply to, well, obviously I don't reply to my athletes via WhatsApp. They get a loom. But for Zoe, I will give her feedback in an external method. I won't sit there and talk to her like we normally do and go through. I will separate it. It will be, right, you're getting coach time now. George is gone. Coach George is here. Let's talk to you about what's going on. There's no emotion. There's no nothing. It's just work. And then when she comes back, switch it back off again. It's like, right, how you feeling? What's going on? Like, talk to her the boyfriend mode, but you've got to be able to split it.
Yeah. That definitely sounds like a way it can work. Some people be like, yeah, but you're still the boyfriend. How can you say that to your girlfriend? Yeah, but it's like, if it works, it works. And damn sure sounds like it does because you separate it.
I wouldn't want to coach her as a lifestyle client because there's too much leeway. There's too much leeway with them guys. So when you and Ellie, like, Ellie doesn't want to be a competitor. So she's not sat there going, I understand that I'm going to have to suffer. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that, blah, blah, blah. She wants balance, and balance is so vague. Yeah.
Everyone's got their own. For example, mine and George's views on a lifestyle client. Like, I've heard George reply to some of his clients, and we've discussed clients that have had, they're not with adherence and time off. I mean, the biggest example was what was it, the Euro finals we were talking about. Clients that went out on the drink, and our clients went on the drink as well.
I'm pretty sure they was in the same pub.
It might have been. It wouldn't surprise if it would have been. But it's all down to that everyone's got their own view on the balance thing. And we didn't agree 100%. We agreed morally, definitely. But it's like, if they're a raging football fan, you're watching the Euro final, I knew there was going to be beers involved. I've seen, I saw a client of George's on the table swinging his shirt around.
Yeah, it was fun.
I see him getting his ass slapped by people and things, honestly. And I was like, Because he used to be a client of mine, actually, funnily enough. And I'm like, I swear that's George's client.
This is the thing that bugged me about any situation there is set the goal. Yeah. And if they give me all the talk that this is what they want to do, they want to get there in the fastest and most optimal and efficient way as possible. You can't be sat on the table getting your ass slapped after about 9 pints and God knows what up your nose, because that ain't count. That's not intuitive towards the goal. So that's when I have to sit down with them and say, look, if you wanted to do that, that's fine. But I'm sat here with my brain ticking over going, how can I get it from A to B the best and efficient way? This is going against our plan. My terms and conditions clearly state, like, whatever your goal is, like, again, there's difference in between how I coach every single lifestyle client. I've got some that I call hybrids, that they're lifestyle people, but they live like bodybuilders. They're more adherent than some of the bodybuilders.
Yeah, I have them too. And I only wish some of them, I wish they were further ahead in their journeys with like how much muscle they have and what their goals are. Because I'm thinking with your work rate, you could go quite far. That's why it comes in the argument of, and maybe a conversation to have, is hard work versus genetics. And then again, you're going to put alongside the argument, what happens if you put someone who's got amazing genetics with amazing work rate, you know, and then that individual then becomes unbeatable, essentially.
Pinnacle number one, perfect genetics, fucking amazing work rate. Boom.
You won't lose. You only lose against someone who has the same.
Yeah.
And it comes down to apples and oranges, doesn't it?
What was the thing that Joe kept saying to you, right, about that? When you set a goal, when you voice something, you don't have to voice what it was, but when you voice that goal, if you're not working towards it, then the coach is going to sit down with you and he's going to have that conversation. If you get a bit butthurt, remember that you were the one that voiced the goal. We are just trying to simply guide you to it in as best way as possible. If you say something completely different that's a little bit lower down on the, you know, on the ladder and a little bit more easy to achieve, then you know what? If going back to the guy on the table, if he'd said to me, you know, I'm quite happy just to, as long as it takes, you know, keep going, but still enjoying my life and the football situation and whatever, I wouldn't have a problem. But it's because he was trying that. I want to get there 100%. I want to be like 110% all the time. And then I see that it goes against what, you know, we're not on the same page now. That's when I have the problem.
That's clear as day with how, with any coach can relate to, is the breakdown in coach-client relationship is like, hang on, bro, we're supposed to be 100%. We're supposed to be 100 with each other. That's all I ask. Like with the standard sheet that I send out to my clients before they begin, all in all, in a nutshell, it just says, don't lie to me. Check in on time, check in correctly to the standard, and just keep it real with me. That's it. If you don't uphold that, I can use that against you at some point if I don't want to work with you, because it can come down to that. I've only ever had to say that to one person when it comes down to it. When it comes to the conversations of, right, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, blah, blah, mention the standard, then they start sorting their stuff out. 99% of the time, that's what happens. But come on, man, like you told me you were going to be the man. You come to me with 110% like attitude. It gets me going. You know, I want to be on this train. I'm rolling. But why did you come to me with that? And then 2 weeks later, you're telling me you don't do it no more. But where was this guy 2 weeks ago? Who's that? Were you acting? Were you trying to be cool? What is it?
That's what I mean. It's I don't want to be too harsh on people when I say it, but that changes over time. Sometimes people want that, and when they realize what they got to do to get it, all of a sudden the goal kind of shifts. But again, just voice it. Say to them, you know what, I can't actually do it. Like, okay, right, well, you don't have to stop working with me just because we can't do what we had originally planned. You've tried it, you've realized it's not for you. Right, how can we manipulate it to better suit you? That's the whole point of lifestyle coaching.
It's like going back to the conversation I had with my coach before. They saying like, you voiced the goal, and it got put straight on me. It was like, I believe you want it. I believe you want to be this goal, but you don't act like it, mate. And you need to either start working like you want to, or we are going to have to reassess the goal. And they'll be like, we can accept to be an average bodybuilder, and he'll give you examples of what you could be if you continue to act like the way you are, and it puts it real in your head. There's no emotion with it, and this is what Joe's master definitely is, that no emotional attachment. There's no smile on his face. There's no poor looking sad face. It is a straight face. If you keep working like this, you'd probably be an average bodybuilder, a guy who got into bodybuilding and did it for a bit. But if you changed it, you could be good. You could. There's no gas with it. You could. Then once you start putting the work and the light and the way you act changes, the vibe changes, and then you get the excitement the other end, and it's like, okay, I got him a little bit excited here. The need to please is there, right? You wanna impress your coach, right? And I like nothing more than having a serious bit of energy going on. We're big on the energy, and if the energy is good, then you got no worries. It's namaste up in here,
Trust me, get the zen in the dojo, mate. It's all good. I got check-in tomorrow, and I'm gassed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I never in my life have I ever sat there and been like, do you know what? I can actually sit there and say I've had a whole year straight of nothing but 110.
Tell you what, that's real. That is
for me. The guy that used to have not one cheat meal. It was Saturday was a cheat day. Friday night after my check-in was a cheat meal, and Sunday was probably eating leftovers like that. When I talk to people, I've been that guy. I've done it.
Yeah. Should we? I want to ask you. Do you remember the time that I phoned you in the morning? do you want to tell people what you were eating?
I think I'd got out of bed. I'd sent my check-in to Jace, and then I got back in bed. Zoe was with me, wasn't she?
I don't know, but tell them what you was eating. I wanted to see if you remember.
I was yamming down the Pop-Tarts.
That was it.
Like fucking 4 Pop-Tarts.
This is like 10:30. I think I was at the gym. There was an earlier session on the weekend. It was a Saturday, obviously. Ham cramp. Oh, I came out of nowhere. Oh, all right. I saved it. I got it. Yeah, I was like, what are you eating? Because he had his mouth full or something when he was trying to talk to me. He was, the pop. He was like, it's off plan meal, bro. I was like, yeah, not off plan in the morning. Like you called him on his shit, but he was like, nah, it's all right. I just won't have my dessert later. And I was like, you're gonna have his. So we've been those people. We've done it. We walked it in. Don't try. You can't say it to us, because we done it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. What are you looking at?
Someone just forwarded me I thought it was something important. It was something about Boris Johnson and lockdown. And when I clicked on it, it was the picture of Barry, if you know who Barry is.
Who's Barry? Oh, Barry Big. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And so, for fuck's sake, really started already.
Barry Big.
I was actually just trying to find your number so I could forward it to you.
A common phrase here at the moment is just Boris Johnson's a nonce, just because the way he's acting. No matter, fair enough. If that's going to get branded a nonce, just because.
God, it's just yeah, we don't need to dive into.
No, I'm not big in politics or anything like that. I don't watch the news. For those out there that do, fair play to you. You can help keep me in the loop if you want to. But
they got more stress than me, man.
That's why you shaved your head. You didn't want the stress to show again through your hairline.
Mate, I tell you what.
I know, it's still a good hairline.
Yeah, but do you know what I realised when I shaved my head?
Well,
I have a half receder, right?
Half receder.
So I've got a widow's peak on one side. So this goes up to here and down. This side is straight.
I can see that. For those that are listening on an audio here,
and they'll watch me on YouTube as well. They'll see it.
Yeah, we are looking at a hairline that is about, I want to say 5-10 mil, for those that understand what I'm talking about here. 5-10 mil on the other side. Yeah. But I want to show you mine. I have an M. Look at my M.
The McDonald's arches. You can't take the fat out of the kid.
My brother said to me, he was like, yeah, you're loving it, didn't you? With the fucking M.
I was going for the Avatar Aang monk kind of vibes, man. That's what I was doing when I shaved.
Didn't you shave that into your head once?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna do it for Halloween, but we just didn't do anything, so I didn't bother.
Yeah, we didn't either. I was supposed to go as Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh mate, yeah, that picture Bill made of you was class.
Honestly, someone said it to me the other day. They were in the gym and he was like, I remember seeing a picture of you once. He said, you look like that guy off Disney. I was like, is it Wreck-It Ralph by any chance? He's like, yeah, that was it, Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, nice.
Oh mate, yeah, but you with a tan looks like Matt. Oh no, see, look, get me fat in the off season with a tan, I'll be Maui, but I still ain't got the hair.
Maui. You need to be seriously bronze if you're on that.
Hey, don't I'll get a banana tan. Real good.
I can't believe how well that works. Banana tan. Honestly, my girlfriend uses it, and it is. I'm not going to plug anything here anything because I thought this stuff comes in like GH vials, bro. Honestly, and you have to mix it. It comes crystallized as well. You have to mix it bacteriostatic water. Obviously, people that do know, I don't know, but I was like, Is this growth hormone you've got, or is this one of mine? You know, what's this? What is this?
Comes unlabeled as well, doesn't it?
Comes unlabeled.
Yeah.
That is the biggest red flag with anything you're putting into your body,
MT2,
people.
mate. For those who don't know, MT2, melanotan 2 is a synthetic version of the skin, synthetic version of melanin, which is the thing found in our skin that produces pigmentation. And if you've got more of it, you'll have darker skin. Hence why people that are close to the equator often have darker skin, i.e., like that African American or African skin tone being darker. That's because they genetically have more melanin in the skin. MT2 is a synthetic version of that basically, the way I say it is basically people from Essex found something they can take to make them falsely brown.
People from Essex.
That's kind of the vibes. But it does work as a really good appetite suppressant. That's why I use it.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a fantastic appetite suppressant.
Do you know what? I didn't know that. And funny enough, Ellie has not wanting to eat too much at the minute.
Trust me. It's a prep hack, mate. The minute, if Zoe doesn't use it, her hunger signaling goes through the roof. She's literally marvin. But if we use it consistently every other day in not even the dose you would use 210, like smaller than that, it just does the job.
Yeah,
just does the job, mate. If I take it, I don't want to eat the whole day.
That's what I'm going to quickly jump on. It just help maybe a few people out. Suppressing appetite when on a diet. What's your go-tos?
That. No, well, I utilize that. Caffeine, any kind of stimulant is going to suppress your appetite, right? But there's only so much caffeine you can take in a day. So that's what I was thinking. Quite a lot of nootropics. The new one that I've been using, DMAE, it was originally prescribed as like ADHD medication back in the day as a prescription, and then eventually become passed as a supplemented thing. You can buy off Amazon, you get it anywhere. So DMAE is quite good. Weirdly, I was reading a study on that. If you take like a gram of it pre-bed, you'll have a lucid dream. I don't know if you know what they are. So you can control the dream. If you take a gram of it pre-bed, apparently there's a whole PubMed study done on it. It's fucking so cool. So I'm yet to try that.
I want to feel like Peter Pan, bro.
That's it. DMAE. I found when I use it for work productivity, like maybe it's a placebo that I'm just so focused on work that I don't notice that I'm hungry, but I found that helps appetite suppressant. For those that smoke or use any form of nicotine is an amazing stimulant and also helps suppress appetite massively. Basically, you're getting the gist here. Anything that suppresses appetite, but from a dietary perspective, high fiber content, so you could change your carb sources to more fibrous compounds rather than starchy. That will help with appetite as you utilizing more vegetables. I don't think there's anything else. Absolutely fuck yourself up. Fry your CNS. Train and fry your CNS. You won't want to eat. That's about
10 working sets deadlifts. 10 working sets back squats.
Yeah,
that will definitely do a number on you, because
you
go and train legs properly. That's usually my go-to. Press something heavy. Fry the CNS because you don't want to eat.
Yeah, trust me.
If you do it right.
I'm trying to think. There's anything else that I've utilized. See, I work off more of a supplement based thing, man. Any kind of
I like this. The conversation we had a long time ago with using things like sugar-free jelly in small amounts throughout the day, as to knock that mental. Pardon?
Sugar-free sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners. They also do suppress appetite, but via more of a digestive issue. They cause a problem and digestion up. But it doesn't make you not want to eat.
Yeah, hence why some people can have gut issues when abusing sugar-free syrups. If anyone does use sugar-free syrup and has a gut issue, you may want to lower how much you're using, if not use a different one with a different dose.
Yeah, it's very person dependent. Again, there's always that individuality with everything.
Yeah.
Like Zoe can have bloody, I don't know, like 20 grams of literally like the artificial sugar, like in her cup of teas, in her oats, like whatever she has, and she's fine, no digestive issues. If I had 1 teaspoon of that shit, I would not shit for like 3 days. Like that's how sensitive the digestive tract, the gut microbiome is. And again, if you're having loads of like Diet Pepsis, it's common when you diet down. What do you do? Oh, Diet Pepsis, zeros. It could be having a detrimental effect further down the line. It might not be, but just if you are having some GI distress and you do know you drink a lot, try cutting back on them. Try just remove them for like 2-3 days and see what happens.
Because that was I was definitely consuming, I want to say 3 or 4 sugar-free drinks in a day on prep with 3, I want to say, sugar-free jellies was normally the go-to. I did limit it because even when I was saying to you, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just smash sugar-free jellies, and you were thinking, hang on, like how much gelatin?
Calories in them still.
Yeah, you're like, how much you actually might want to look at this? And like, yeah, it's 7 calories, but that's 7 calories times how much? Like how many of these are you scranning? I was sometimes on a hungry day, I put like 3 of those in my last yogurt meal because it was bulking out the yogurt meal. I was having essentially jelly and ice cream, is what I called it. It was a sugar-free jelly, strawberry with the yogurt, protein. And I make a protein mug cake, like so I'd have like a chocolate and cake with jelly, and it was banging. It was the greatest meal that I had on my prep. It was what I looked forward to after a night shift at about 4 a.m. to have. Oh, it was so good, honestly.
Unreal. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else outside of that to slow your digestion down.
Well, not necessarily. You got obviously a few things there, but mindset is so powerful with any diet. We've dieted on extremely low calories. People out there, lifestyle won't even ever have to push that limit ever. Not just with a diet, but with the expenditure, pushing your deficit that low. It's one of those, keep a goal in mind. I know we're going a bit of a tangent with this, but you got a goal in mind. Do you want, for example, I've got a lady, a client who she's getting married next year, and it's like you're not working as hard as you should do towards it. And I'm trying to get through to her. I was like, the question I asked her was, how do you want these photos to look on the day? And I feel like I'm like tugging on a nerve or something, but I was like, I have to ask you this, how do you want this to look? Because I want this to be really well and it will look amazing. And I really want to be the one that helps you and I want to get this done. But you need to get something done here. And you almost feel a little bit lost because you can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make it drink.
But that's literally one of the big staples you kind of learn and understand as you start coaching. Straight away, you can't make anyone do anything in life. That's just a human. We cannot control a single person, right? But our job is to guide and give you the tools necessary for you to make the change. You're paying us to do a job, and if you don't do the plan, then you're wasting your money. It annoys us because we're not getting the result. We don't do this for money, but we do it we love our job. We love to see results. We love to see even confident change. We love to see what happens within a person, not just from a physical standpoint, but a mental, emotional, the whole shebang, right? But from your perspective as the client, you're paying for something and they're not doing it. You wouldn't pay, I don't know, you wouldn't waste 40, 50 quid on extra on your phone bill that you don't use. You pay for what you need. It's that simple. Like it always baffles me. And but the same thing, we've done it.
Yeah.
We've cheated on guys. We've been in that place and we've wasted the money because that once you come out of that and you look at it from being the client again, I spend a hell of a lot of money for Joe now. Yeah. More than I ever have. So I'm getting what I pay for. I'm making sure that I utilize the educational service. I utilize that one-to-one time. And I'm sure as hell not cheating on my diet because it's just a waste of a lot of money.
Too right.
So yeah, it's two sides of every coin. But I think when you say that to them, they then go, "Oh, well, he obviously doesn't want to coach me." But it's like, I'm just trying.
But then it's thinking that might do the switch in the head of when you say to someone about this. They're like,
yeah,
like I've said to people, and I was like, we may have to reconsider what we're doing here. Yeah. When you put it to them like that, it's real. Like, I do mean it. I'm not trying to say it to prod and get a reaction. I mean it. You can go elsewhere. You can. I earn enough money elsewhere and doing this to cover that. I don't need your money. I do it because I want to do it. I don't sit here sometimes at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night on this laptop because I just want the money. I enjoy what I do. And if I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't effing do it,
Completely.
Yeah.
Man.
I think that's a good way for us to wrap up the brief.
Yeah. Sounds like we just attacked our clients at the end a little bit.
It's not. It's real experience, real people. People that go through it. It's not a conversation that I haven't had before with a coach. I've been kicked off, as some people know, by a coach, by Jace before he let me back a few months later. That was the kick up the arse I needed because that following prep, I didn't miss a beat. I was 100% the whole way through. Yeah. There was nothing better than standing at the end. And my last day in the gym, a few days before the show, and I looked around and I was like, I did everything. I'll tell you what, that feeling, I wanted them back. So I couldn't say it the following year. I couldn't because I did have only small slips, but they were still, it was 100%. But yeah, that feeling, people know what I mean with that. Maybe people have had a similar moment, but that is savage. So we'll leave it on that.
Well then, guys, that's a wrap up from us tonight. Some rambles. We've gone through
Itchiness, competition.
That's it. Competition. That's the word I was looking for. My brain's gone dead, man. Diet, fat loss again. Brain's losing it. We've gone through competition, healthy and negative. Christmas, a little bit of touching on Christmas. Normal client coaching issues, stuff we go through on a daily basis. I like these episodes of me and you. I like these ones where we breeze. They're a bit more organic, you know. When you get the people with a specific agenda, it becomes a bit robotic, doesn't it? It's just us breathing.
That definitely is. Like when we have someone on, which you're going to have more people on, especially next week as well. And I want to be able to ask questions that someone sitting there listening is going to want to ask. And yeah, fair play, it's not a question I'd ask, but you do have to be the third person sometimes because people do want to know. But yeah, this is literally same sort of conversation we'd have, which we do have near enough every day on the phone. So we just have it and you can listen in essentially.
Exactly that. But yeah, that's it from us this week, guys.
See you guys later on. See you for the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.